Hello! This video is about the extremely popular budget-friendly professional synth, the Yamaha MX88. This keyboard is amazing and I love mine, but they cut some corners to get the price down to $10.99. If I could go back in time, I'd buy it again. But if you are buying this keyboard, or if you already bought it, there are some things you should know. You might already know some of them, but I can't be sure of that. I've had it a month. I'm not an expert, so if I get anything wrong, please give me the correct information in the comments section. Thank you. Let's get started. Number one, the keyboard is very expressive, but it's not super fast. Trying to play Billy Joel's Angry Young Man is fairly difficult because the keys don't come back up as quick as a real piano. However, it's much more expressive to play than cheaper keyboards. I played $1,000 MIDI controllers that don't have any sounds at all, and I prefer this synth's keyboard, but it's still something to think about. 2. Using buttons on the keyboard, you can only play 2 sounds at once. However, you can make more complicated sounds on a computer and transfer them to the keyboard. You can actually do up to 15 voices and 1 drum kit at the same time. You can map them across the keyboard, you can layer them any way you want to, but you have to do it from a computer. You can't do it from the buttons. 3. The Xtools software suite is made for Mac and Windows by an independent programmer, and it is well worth the money, around $59. It unlocks features that you don't get via the keyboard interface, via the buttons on the front of the keyboard, basically. There's a link in the video description. This is not a paid endorsement. I don't know the author. I used to be an independent programmer, and I think we need to support them. It's really good software. 4. The Xtools software suite is not for the computer timid, though. It's powerful, but the documentation won't have you easily jumping right in. If you already understand how synthesis works, you'll be fine. Other than that, it might be kind of a steep learning curve. 5. You do get a download of the MX49 MX61 remote editor app from Yamaha, but they don't make it. They subcontract it out, and it's not as good or as powerful as the Xtools software suite. It can be tricky to get it up and running. You can't resize the interface. And honestly, the interface looks a heck of a lot like my old floor pod. If only Yamaha knew how to make modern resizable interfaces like HX Set It by Line 6. And of course, Line 6 is owned by Yamaha. Come on, guys, this is easy stuff. As Tony would say, daw geez. 6. The small display is partially to blame for the small patch names. You're limited to 10 characters for a performance name. What decade is this? It's like I'm back on my old DX27 or something. 7. The owner's manual is printed, which is great, but it's written like a car owner's manual. It'll walk you through the features in a strange sort of order, and you got to keep going back through it in order to figure it out, and you got to keep notes on the terminology. I mean, how do I make and save my own voices? Read the entire manual, and you still won't know how to do it. You'll be confused. 8. It's super easy to get started with the keyboard quickly playing sounds, but it's a lot more difficult to figure out how to go any deeper. It's convoluted, basically. 9. It is possible to set up the 16 buttons to correspond to your 16 favorite patches, which is what most players would want to do, but it's a really convoluted process. It took me an hour with the owner's manual to figure it out. I'm not going to go into it because this isn't a training video. And 10, the biggest drawback. You can make your own voices, but you can't easily access them without setting up a performance. Performances mostly come with annoying drum and sequencer patterns, and they're difficult to disable and save them. Okay. This keyboard is great for people who want great sounding presets and a great keyboard bed for not a lot of money. It is the least expensive good 88 key synth on the market. But it's not a great choice for people who want to easily make and store their own sounds, but they don't like menu diving or computer editors. It is a great choice for people who don't mind software editors, want a lot of power, and are on a tight budget, like me. Is this a digital piano that Yamaha crammed a synth engine into? Well, I mean, kinda. For someone who wants more control, the Roland Juno DS88 key is $200 more, but it has a better interface and it sounds great. For me, though, personally, I think the pianos and the electric pianos in the Yamaha beat the Roland sounds, but that's just my own personal opinion. Lots of folks like the Roland sounds better. And of course, Yamaha makes more expensive keyboards that are easier to edit, but you're going to pay, well, almost $1,000 more. So there you go. This was just a quickie video with 10 things that I've learned spending a lot of time with my new keyboard. If you're an owner of one of these or buying one, maybe that was helpful. If there's people out here who want to see a little bit more about the keyboard, like how to do things on the keyboard, let me know in the comments section. Give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I'll probably be back to doing guitar videos next week. That's the thing about this channel. If you made it this far into the video, then you should know, like, this channel is a blog, sort of my musical life. So sometimes I'm going to be repairing guitars. Sometimes I'm songwriting or recording guitar parts. Sometimes I'm working with synths. I kind of want to do a video on the MX88 versus main stage. I think that might be interesting. But anyway, regardless, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you liked it, and if you want to,